Peterson, the man who said he would not use them, they pronouns, checked himself into rehab. His wife is going through, I think, a hard bout with cancer, possibly terminal. And he was on benzos and I think it was clonazepam or something like that. So now he's in rehab. I don't really know anybody who goes to rehab for that. I know people who just continue to do them forever. They don't want to go through the withdrawal. They don't want to take time off work. He's in a position like a lot of other people that can't, just check into rehab. A lot of people aren't in that position, and they're just going to be on these pills. I've known a lot of people who do Xanax, and they literally talk to me like this. Hi, Dave. What you doing? Wanna smoke some weed? So it's very, very negative. And then I've heard people say that heroin's nothing compared to these things because they linger for months of depression. That's why I stopped taking Xanax, among other reasons. Xanax is terrible. It's like good for a plane ride or sometime when you have to just knock out in an uncomfortable seat like a plane. That would be like one of the better uses. But natural would always be best. I mean, these are strong psychoactive drugs. I don't know exactly how much they affect the brain, but it's a tranquilizer. But these things, the brain reacts to them so crazy, like it's a Scooby snack for the brain. The brain's like, oh, Scooby snack, like a dog with a treat. It's very hard for dogs to resist treats. And it's like putting a bunch of treats in front of a dog and telling him not to eat them. So it's very, very hard. The brain's just wired at that point after you do this shit. And it affects your life. It does a lot of bad things. But Jordan Peterson is now in rehab. All the best to him. I'm trying to start new channels. So I just wanted to spread the news. Here's Turbo. Who's a good boy? Who likes Scooby snacks? This dog loves to lick me. This is my shadow. His name's Turbo. I think he's a pit lab. But he's a good Mr. Man. You're not on drugs. Are you, Turbo? Look at this guy. He just all over me. Because I let him. I admit it. I let him I kind of baby him. When the baby comes, he's not going to be an only child no more. So everybody, God bless. And, regardless of what you think of Jordan Peterson, we want people to get off drugs. We want people to not be suffering in a perpetual, not really those drugs that you're getting prescribed, but heroin in Chicago, it's perpetual hell for these people. Another kid just died right on State Street downtown in Macy's. They said he was in there for 12 hours. And I hope it wasn't that kid I talked to on my other channel. His name was... what was his name? Leon? And he said he was Polish, and he said he was from Michigan. I said, you ain't got no family here, bro? He said, nah, man. I'm like, bro, if you go on my other channel, it's just a video. I might have... It's just... I talked to a lot of heroin addicts and panhandlers downtown. But he looked like he was 17 or 18 years old, and I felt for him. I went and got some... I didn't even have no cash because we were down there for something else. So I had to give him Dunkin' Donuts, like free donut gift cards I give out. But it's so hard to know what to say sometimes. When you see somebody suffering. And I was like, do you shoot? And he's like, yeah, I shoot. And I'm like, damn, dude. Could anybody who doesn't do heroin just for a second, or even if you do, or have, and don't anymore. Waking up, and he was telling me he was shooting up in his jugular vein, or not his jugular vein, I don't know, but sitting there waking up and just jabbing yourself, or not waking up with dope, because that would actually be a good day for them. Waking up without the drug. He goes out there and he sits on a corner while all these people with money walk past him. I mean, it's not their responsibility, of course. I could never, ever, and I never have held a sign, and I just couldn't do it. People just walking by you, looking at you, looking down on you. I couldn't do it, man. I just could not do it. But, it's terrible. And then you got a panhandle. And how fast do you make $10 just sitting there? I don't know. But I would think if I was a panhandler, I would go up to people. And I would talk to them. Like, hey, can you help me out? If I was the panhandle, I wouldn't sit there and wait for somebody because nobody's gonna. I would get in people's, not in their face, but I'd be like, hey, excuse me, sir, can I ask you a question? Catch somebody smoking a cigarette. And everybody's got credit cards these days. People don't even have change in their pocket like they used to. Or cash, for that matter. So then you, whatever, how long it takes you to get your money for dope, then you gotta go call or walk to a, we don't even have projects somewhere. People who wanted drugs used to have instant spots. They'd walk there, there'd be people just sitting there with giant bags of drugs, passing them out all day. That's how Chicago was. Every fucking block. My block, the block next, the block that way, that way, that way. There was heroin and crack, weed, PCP, ecstasy. There was just open air markets, and I think it's because of cell phones, and they tore the projects down. People who did heroin and crack, they told me, you just go into projects. Every building's got 10 guys with a giant sack of drugs. Anyway, that's all different now, I guess. So then he's got to get his drugs. Then you get the drugs, and he's got to go in a bathroom, because that's where they found the one guy dead, and stick a fucking needle, a painful ass thing to do. I hate needles. Fucking hate them. If I had to stick a needle in my arm every day right there, dude, I would be pissed. I'd be like, no, I couldn't do it. Won't do it. But, and then you get high, and it might not even be good, and people get tolerances. He was telling me he has a high tolerance. So you're just doing it to get by. It's like a vampire. A vampire just trying to fucking not die. And if you quit, you get better. But they say, why, this is the whole thing. Why quit right now and go through all that pain? Why don't I just prolong it, do it tomorrow? Tomorrow comes. Oh, fuck it, I'll do it 3 days. Next thing you know, 10 years of your life have gone by. Next thing you know, in my case, all my friends are dead. So everybody, be compassionate too. Be compassionate, but everybody, God bless.